Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. My name is Steven and this is the Storytime channel. Today we have some I Don't Work Here Lady stories, and our first story of the day is by KThenReddit. I only went for an umbrella. Oh geez, just a story from a few hours ago. Gonna miss out on most of the details as this thing just dragged on and on and on for 30 minutes, if not longer, and all it was explaining to a woman I can't go into the stock room, as well you might have guessed it from the subreddit, I don't work here lady. Alright, so it's raining a lot recently and I do not have an umbrella, and I've been meaning to get one for about 2 years now, because it often rains wherever I'm working, and it'd be nice to have a day where I can stay somewhat drier than I end up being usually. So I live with 3 friends and we rent a 3-bedroom place together. Now my 2 friends have both got umbrellas. I do not. So today I decided, I finished work early, it's still dry out, I can quick walk to the supermarket and buy an umbrella for myself when it rains. A 20-minute long walk to the store normally takes about 5 minutes, but I forgot my mask like an idiot and had to double back for one item. The umbrella. Only it started raining. Heavily. I'm drenched from head to toe, but I was determined to buy an umbrella. Now, the umbrellas are located pretty much near the main entrance. Can't be 30 steps away from the doors. I'm dripping wet, so I headed into the bathroom to use the built-in hand dryers to dry my shirt off for like 5 minutes and just generally get a bit warmer. Eventually, I walk out, no longer dripping, walk over to the umbrellas which are about 10 steps away, pick up one lone umbrella out of like 100, pop it open just to see how big it is. There's different sizes in the boxes from small, mediums, and large. Tag for size was on the inside. Then close it and almost like magic, poof! A Karen is stood in front of me and asks me, or rather tells me, "Hey you, give me that, I want to try it out." To which I reply, "Sorry lady, I'm only here for this. There's plenty more literally next to you." To which she yelled, "I wanted that one you have, it's pink and I want it." Okay, first of all, it was a plain black one. Anybody with eyes could see that much. "Lady, you can see this is all black, right?" She yells at me again. "Liar, go get me your manager, I want you fired for not letting me purchase that umbrella." There's a customer service desk literally behind me where there was a manager, who straight away walked over and asked what's the problem here. "He won't give me that pink umbrella he's holding, I stashed it away so I can come back for it and he's stealing it from me." The manager scratches his beard, then his head and says, "Ma'am, that's black. In fact, they're all black. We only stock plain black umbrellas here unless it's a kid's one which are rainbow colored." I sighed, popped it back open, spun it around and just said, "Look at the umbrella lady, it's black. BLACK. She stuttered, confused and said, "Well, where's the pink one you just had before that?" Manager says, "Listen ma'am, there's no pink ones, just plain black ones. Right next to you." He was visibly getting annoyed. Now, I'm sorry if you've somehow misplaced or lost a pink umbrella in some other store, but it definitely wasn't this one. I go to turn away and go pay for the umbrella when she grabs me, spins me around and says, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but can you go check the back for me? I know there's a pink umbrella in here somewhere. It was right here about 10 minutes ago before you walked up." "What? I don't work here, lady. What made you think I worked here? And what makes you think I would go to the back to check for you even if I did after you just yelled at me?" "Well, the customer's always right, so chop chop, come on, go look for me." This is where me, the manager, and Karen go around and around in circles for like 30 minutes telling her I can't go back there, I don't work here, he can't fire me, I'm a customer as well. In the end, the manager just tells me to go look in the back, then whispers to me, just walk past her and head to the checkout. Say James, the manager gave me a code to enter for 50% off. The umbrellas were only $2.50 anyways, so I just accepted it. I got to the checkout, gave the code, got my 50% discount that I didn't need, a new story for Reddit, oh, and a scratch card which I won 20 pounds on, and walked on home in the rain, completely forgetting I just bought an umbrella and didn't open it on the way. Major facepalm. I guess if you get so used to not having an umbrella, and you experience a Karen like this that completely jumbles your mind, I guess it leads to you forgetting that you even bought an umbrella for the rain in the first place. I'm kind of curious how many of you guys experienced a situation kind of like this where a stranger claims you stole something from them. If you've been in a situation where a stranger literally claims you stole something from them, let me know in the comments down below, and if you want to share that story, I'm all ears. As a kid, I definitely wasn't a stranger for some reason to people calling me somebody that has sticky fingers, and I'm never really sure why, so I'd really like to hear your guys' thoughts. This next story is by Mrmuzick. Are you colorblind? I was recently in a hardware store. The employees wear dark blue polo shirts with the company name embroidered on it. I was wearing a bright orange t-shirt with my company name in large letters across the back. I was looking at the safety glasses when I hear a middle-aged lady say, "Excuse me, do you work here?" Wow, I'm not even wearing anything close to what the employees are wearing, but she did ask very nicely, "Sorry, but I don't work here." Immediately, she apologized for bothering me. She was so sincere and nice about it, and I, having 30 years of retail experience, could not suppress all those years of service. I found myself saying, "What are you looking for? Maybe I can help you find it." She said she didn't want to be a bother, but just could not find an item she saw in the store's weekly ad. I knew where the item might be, and a moment later I had helped her to find it. It was in a large box that looked a bit heavy. She said she had bad shoulders and asked if I could help lift it off the shelf for her. I said I would do one better and took it up to the register for her. She was so grateful and kept thanking me for my help. She had another item she wanted to find, and so I got the attention of an actual employee and sent them off on a new search. I saw her again as I was leaving, and she thanked me again. I smiled and just said I was glad to be of some help. We agreed that these little acts of kindness add up to make the world a much better place, and we all need that. I definitely agree that when we can, we all need these little acts of kindness, and it really does add up to make the world a better place. Be kind to one another, especially the elderly. I think that's the least you can do. Our next story is by thearticulategrunt. Well, at least she could read. So this happened about a week ago. I had a meeting at work and was recently promoted, so I decided to wear a collared company shirt I bought a couple years back with slacks and a nice set of professional shoes. My wife had given me a honey pickup list, so after the meeting I stopped by America's favorite, two in every town, store, Fall Dart. Now, it was a small list, 3 easily carried items, so I didn't even grab a cart or anything. As I am moving through the aisle to grab the first thing, a sweet little old lady asks for my help reaching something on a top shelf. No problem, she asked nicely. I'm tall and I don't actually mind helping. My wife will actually see people having issues and volunteer me from time to time. It's all cool. As I hand it to her and she smiles thanking me, I get tapped on the shoulder, one of those bony nun finger type of taps. "Hey, come with me, you need to take care of your employee." Now, my mind instantly realized I must look like a manager and a Karen found me. Shoot. "I'm sorry ma'am, I don't work here." "I don't care if you're corporate or local, follow me." Screw it, this could be fun. So I follow her, and a couple aisles away is a lady test to do shopping for those online orders with 4 partially filled totes. "I can't find my crap and she won't show me where it is. You need to reprimand this employee." Poor employee tried to keep smiling despite looking so tired and fed up with life in general. "Ma'am, I'm sure she is just following the directions of her boss, but I don't work here. It does seem that you need some help though. Do you need my help?" As I said that, I pulled down and straightened the chest of my shirt in case of wrinkles and pointed to the slogan under the company crest. Helping individuals with disabilities and living independent and fulfilling lives. I really do love helping people and work for a company that works with people with mental and physical disabilities. She glanced down, got a confused look on her face and looked back up at me, which I had been waiting for. Extending one hand towards her, "Ma'am, do you have staff or family here with you? Are you in need of assistance?" She got red and started making a squeaky, choking noise. She then started looking really pissed but unsure of what to say. She finally clenched her jaw and just stormed off. I turned, showing my shirt to the actual employee and wished her a good day as she tried not to laugh. Sadly, I didn't see or hear anything else from the lady the rest of my visit. Quick wit, being at the right place at the right time, and the perfect circumstance to just completely own this Karen. I'm surprised Karen was actually able to understand the implication OP was trying to put out there about her behavior. This next story is by Joseph Kickbutt, a more wholesome story. So in high school, and 12 more years, I worked at the local grocery store. It was right across the street from a big video rental company that has only one location left. Anyway, I stopped by to rent a movie after work, still in my uniform, which was not a blue shirt. One of the ladies I know as a regular at the store says, "Hey OP, can you help me find this movie?" Thinking it's because we have somewhat of a friendship, I walk around, find it, and hand it to her. She says, "Thanks for finding it so quickly." Then I go to find something to rent and she says, "Oh my god, you helped me and you don't even work here. I know you from the grocery store, but my brain just knew you would be able to help." She was super embarrassed and I told her not to worry about it because it really wasn't a big deal. She then paid for my candy for her mistake. This story's actually really sweet. I feel like if I was in this situation and this person said, "Oh, I just knew you would be able to help," that would make me feel really, really good about myself. And also you get free candy out of it, so that's just a big bonus too. This next story is by Child of Zeus. I work at Sonic. I'm just here for toilet paper. So 4 years ago, female 19 at the time, I worked as a car hop at Sonic Drive-In. So a little backstory for people who don't live in the US. Sonic is a drive-in restaurant where people can sit and eat in the comfort of their car. The uniform for them 4 years ago, it's not now, was a blue polo, black or blue jeans, and a black hip apron with sneakers. Now, I was always used to being mistaken for an employee whenever I went to Walmart after work because Walmart's uniform was the same blue as Sonic's uniform. Most of the time I would hear a, "Oh, I'm sorry, thanks for helping me." But that day I was getting toilet paper and I felt a hand tap my shoulder. I turned around and saw the most obvious Karen I had ever met. I'm talking short, "I want to talk to your manager" haircut, glaring eyes that look like they hate the world, clutching the hand of a small cherub-looking child of possibly 5 years old with tacky pink acrylic nails. "Excuse me, but where is your toy aisle?" Me, increasingly happy to help. "Oh, I don't work here, but I can still help. The toy aisle is near the pharmacy near the front of the building." I pointed to where the toy aisle was and went back to comparing toilet paper prices. Apparently, she didn't like that answer because I was tapped again. Don't you work here? You need to take me there now." "I'm sorry, but I don't. I'm just here getting toilet paper." "Then why are you wearing the Walmart uniform? You need to stop being so lazy and actually do your job. My kid wants a toy and I need you to show me to the toy aisle. I can get you fired." I was actually shocked and just grabbed my cart to try to run away. I'm not a confrontational person and I tend to run away when any threat of conflict appears, and she wasn't happy about that because she grabbed my arm. "Show me now!" At this point, her kid was crying, probably because mom was yanking her arm as she argued with me and her mom was yelling, "See, my kid is crying and it's all your fault." Her wailing had finally got the attention of my mom and a Walmart staff who came up to me and had to explain to the lady at length that I don't work there, have never worked there, and was just there for toilet paper. I still think about that kid. Hope she's okay. I'm just surprised how bold a lot of these Karens are. It seems like almost every time I read these "I don't work here" stories, there's always a story about a Karen coming up and grabbing people or spinning around people. People are really grabby. I just think that wouldn't fly most of the time. Our next story is by OhFarmboy, Maskless Lady. This happened just yesterday and my wife thinks it's appropriate for here. I was shopping at that inexpensive family clothing store named after a military branch. You know that one. The store is mostly empty because it's the middle of the afternoon and because of you know what. Most people aren't out and about for shopping for no reason. Anyway, I was looking for some jeans at the front of the store because they were on sale. Mind you, I was actually wearing a pair of jeans, a plaid shirt, a vest, and a mask that all could have been from the store. As I'm searching for my size, this lady approaches with her phone to her ear and her mask in her hand. I pause what I'm doing and look over at her. "Do you know where the men's athletic shorts are?" "No." "Can you ask someone?" "No." "Don't you work here?" "No." "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, why didn't you say so?" Because I was trying to figure out why you wouldn't put down your phone and put on your mask when talking with a stranger in public. The lady's face went from confused to horribly embarrassed. She immediately turned bright red, put on her mask, mumbled sorry, and headed straight out of the door, sans shorts. I find jeans in the right size and head to the checkout behind me. The cashier has these big smiling eyes and I can tell she is smiling behind her mask. She tells me the look on that lady's face was priceless. Have a great day. It must be nice for the cashiers to not have a whole lot of people inside and actually being able to have a personable connection with this one person about a very confused other customer. And our final story of the day is by FranziWolke. I live here, you are at the wrong floor. So a little bit of backstory. I live in an apartment complex on the second floor. There are only flats on this floor. On the first floor, there are doctors and therapists. So this morning I was playing with my son when suddenly the doorbell rang. We hadn't ordered anything and don't get visitors very often, especially at this time, so I was confused. I opened the door and an old woman stands in front of me breathing heavily. When I greeted her, she wanted to enter, but I stood in the door because I knew there must be a misunderstanding. I asked if she wanted the doctor as she looked a little bit sick and because of the heavy breathing. She told me no and then some name I didn't recognize, but in my country it isn't that uncommon to not know your neighbors very well. But after I asked further, we discovered that she wanted to go to the therapist who is located directly under my flat on the first floor. I asked her if I should bring her there, but she refused and said now she knows the way. No shouting, no, but I must be right. Just an old lady who was at the wrong floor. Not as dramatic as other stories here, but it was my first I don't work here lady experience and I wanted to share it with someone. That's a really interesting apartment dynamic. I don't know how common that setup is, but I guess in some situations, if you have the space for it and the money the apartment complex owners make from it must be worth it. Just seems kind of odd living right above doctors and therapists, but hey, I bet it's actually pretty convenient. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So which of these stories was your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. But besides that, if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing and turn notifications on if you haven't so you'll never miss an upcoming video. Any little thing that you do helps the channel grow so much more. Whether it's commenting, subscribing, or just watching the video, thank you all so very much for supporting me right here on the Storytime channel. I hope you all have a wonderful day and I'll see you all next time right here.